guys hear me? Marissa? Oh, you can. Nice. I can't hear you. Let me make sure my volume's up. Look at my phone. Let's see. What's my phone saying? I think he's still recording. Maybe we should try something else. I don't think he's recording. I mean, if he is, I'm recording on my little recording thing.
So, like, on your, left-hand side, does it say it's being recording? And then, on the chat, does it say recording?
I don't see that anywhere.
So, Christian, you do, right? It's not just me?
Yeah, I know on the side of the thing there's only 3 attendees. Does that mean we're the only ones logged on?
I think so, but then I don't...
It does say recording in progress.
I don't understand how he could still be recording if he's not here. So, just go along with it, or do you guys want to try Zoom?
I mean, I say we just go along with it. I don't think it...
Hold on, let me close the door because the fan's really loud. Hold on.
I don't see you guys though.
Because I haven't turned mine on yet.
Oh, okay.
Hold on. I don't want to turn mine on and then he's recording. Okay.
Oh, there you are.
Okay. And you're recording now, you said?
I am, yeah, but just recording my screen.
So can it see everyone?
No, it's just seeing you. But I think it was going back and forth. So I can see a little tiny version of me in the left corner. And then now you're the big screen. And then I believe Christian, when he talks, he'll pop up.
So do you not see the questions, comments thing?
I do. I see that.
Okay. Alright, let me just pull up the thing. We're not going to read over it again because I don't think we need to, but just so I can reference back to it. So give me 1 second. And then Christian, do you have, how do you say, video record? Or video or camera or whatever?
I'm using my laptop. But I don't know if I can record it on my end.
Okay, no, I see your video now. Before I didn't. So I just want to make sure. So I don't have to redo this again.
I think how it works, it just kind of switches between who's talking.
Okay, that makes sense.
So I think it'll be fine because you could see my face pretty much the whole time, but it's in this very left corner, and then you two, it will kind of switch off.
Okay. All right, and I pulled up. Whenever you guys are ready, I'm ready. Do I have a go from everyone?
I'm good to go.
Jeff, good to go?
I think I'm good to go. Yep.
Okay, I'm recording.
Yep. I've been recording for 6 minutes.
Awkward. So, for Ramon, we thought that it might not be, last week we thought it might not be because of the accident. And this week with what he said, I don't know, I kind of still feel like it isn't the accident. It might just be himself, like constantly telling himself that he's stupid and stuff like that, that is kind of hurting him more. Like it might have a little bit to do with the accident, but with putting himself down constantly, I don't think it's helping him any. So, and also maybe his English too.
Yeah, I caught that too right now. He does say that Spanish is better.
Yeah, so I don't know, like he might be like not a beginner, but like maybe an advanced or intermediate, because like his English is good, but there's points here and there where it's kind of awkward. So I don't know if it's kind of like a mixture. Like when this whole thing ends, I feel like it could either be from the accident, himself putting himself down constantly, or his English, or maybe even a mix of all of it. So.
Yeah, I mean, I think the accident is probably hurting him a little bit. You know, it probably did affect his memory. I mean, I just remember that there was little issues that like he just couldn't remember certain words, especially in English. Honestly, I should have reread it before I started doing this, but
oh yeah, so I could reference back to it.
Yeah.
But I remember that being
something
like
I also noticed.
Oh, go for it.
No, go. Oh, sorry. I just wanted to add. He also does mention that his current hearing aid isn't as helpful, especially that Mr. Jones is always talking while on the smartboard. So I think Mr. Jones constantly lecturing also has something to do with it.
Like it'd be better if he was like looking at him.
Yeah, or like maybe more visuals and more student participation than just hearing Mr. Joyce's voice.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that.
Okay, cool. And then for Martha, I think exactly what we thought last week is still the same this week. But the fact that she doesn't mention that she's in like an EL program or anything is kind of scary. Do we know like what city? Oh wait, is it Bakersfield?
I don't know.
I'm just trying to think. If it's like a small city, then maybe EL isn't that big of a thing. But seeing that there's at least 3 people that should be getting some with language help, and none of them mention it is kind of scary.
Oh, that's a good point.
But at least she has some help from her friend, but it's not the help that I think she should be getting.
Like she's having trouble with like a lot of the math terms. I remember like variable was one of them, and then I'm sure there are a bunch of other terms that she has trouble with. And hers too is she just doesn't want to be embarrassed. Like she's kind of she doesn't want to like ask questions and stuff because she doesn't want to look dumb, or you know, by her words, she doesn't want to look dumb. So that's kind of an issue too. And then I believe like her family life too, they were really busy. Like she's the one that her grandma looks after the kids and stuff, and the mom and dad are working pretty much all day long. So she probably doesn't get a whole lot of family support. Like at least with like school and stuff.
Yeah. I know too, I'm looking back at the first case study, and it says they're in a small district in the Central Valley of California. Does anyone know where exactly that may be?
I don't.
It doesn't say like, because I'm on the one that we had this week. It says it's a long way to Bakersfield, so I don't know if I don't know what a Bakersfield is. No, California. I don't know if you guys know where Bakersfield is.
Yes. I mean, I feel like it's pretty. It's like on the way to Vegas almost. Pretty kind of on the outskirts of California. Very close to Nevada.
But see, I feel like it's close enough to LA that it should have it.
I don't think it's that close to LA.
So Central Valley. I'm Google mapping it. It's in Northern California, so maybe there is less of a focus on ELLs and like students coming from Latino backgrounds because I guess it's very far up compared to like LA.
Yeah, I would say that. Are you guys both in LA or where are you guys coming from?
Sacramento.
Oh, you're in Sacramento.
I'm from.
Mm-hmm.
I'm technically LA.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm coming from San Diego, so I mean, I would say probably we have better like EL stuff going on here.
Mm-hmm.
What about you, Christian? Where are you at?
I'm from the San Fernando Valley, which is technically a part of LA, but I guess sometimes it's considered not.
Oh, okay.
But I know our schools are LAUSD, so I guess technically we're LA.
Yeah.
Cool.
Should we go on to the next person?
Dylan. Typical student. Right.
Yeah, I don't feel like there's much to say with him.
Yeah, his parents are college graduates.
It's gonna go like kind of like how it did with Gina. Something's gonna change, or he's just a study to show us what a typical student would look like compared to everyone else.
Yeah. He's kind of like, I mean, I would say he's kind of the average teenage boy.
You
know,
yeah.
He's in sports, right? I think that was part of his case study.
He's actually not.
Oh, he's not? Okay.
Yeah. I feel like Mr. Jones might have just put him here because maybe he gets annoyed at his jokes and stuff. Maybe he's taking it personal.
Yeah.
Well, so it said that he was like flirting with Gina a lot, right? Last week?
I think Gina was flirting with him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Gina was flirting with Dylan.
Yeah. He's just a typical student. So, I don't see anything special, unless I'm wrong, but special about him. Where like the other ones are stuff to point out that they're not getting the help or stuff like that.
Yeah. I mean, he could probably just use a little bit more attention because I know he's getting like C's. You know, you could probably bump up his grade a little bit more, but that's about it, I guess.
Yeah.
And also, as like comparing to like the other ones, it looks like he has a lot of support at home, and then he has like his brother. They both graduated college, and then his brother who's starting college. So I mean, compared to the other students, he has a lot more support at home.
Yeah.
So, anything else, or do you guys want to move on to Bill?
We can move on.
We can move on.
You guys want to start? Because I feel like I keep starting every single one, and I don't want to take the spotlight away from you guys.
Well, with him, I would just like. Oh, go ahead.
No, you go. Go for it.
Okay, sorry. I was just gonna say that I feel like with Bill, it's kind of the same thing as Dylan. There doesn't seem really to be much wrong with him, he seems to have a set goal and something that's very plausible when he grows up, seeing as he's had those models in his family that became SEALs. So it's really weird that he's even on this.
Yeah, I mean, I would say the main thing that I guess stands out is that he switched schools so much. That's, I mean, pretty much it, but it doesn't really affected him, like, at least negatively, as far as I can see. Like, he's still very goal oriented. He still has, like, massive family support, and yeah, he's still, like, a great kid.
So yeah.
The only thing that I see is, like, he doesn't seem interested in school whatsoever, which makes sense because he moves around a lot, so he probably doesn't have that connection with the school or the teachers or anything. But then his mom, I think it is.
Yeah,
Where does it
it
say
was
that?
his mom.
His mom's a teacher, right? So
Yeah,
it's like, I don't know. I've known some kids that their parents are teachers and are always like super into school. Well, not super into school, but they're always on top of their school and
Yeah.
they seem more into education. So that part, I think, was a little weird. He didn't mention school once. Like, he didn't even mention his grades or anything.
Well,
the only time he mentioned it was talking about his mom.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he did mention that he's wants to really do very good in math because his mom teaches math. And she's kind of emphasized how important it is. But yeah, other than that, I don't think he's mentioned school at all.
Yeah, I think he's only doing it to be able to graduate to then become a SEAL.
Yeah, yeah.
Main goal.
Yeah.
So, the one that caught us all off guard, Gina.
Yeah.
Had to start her.
Yeah.
I didn't even. I think we were all like caught off guard when we recorded it last time. We didn't really know what to say. I mean, I think it was Jeff that mentioned, like, with her clothing, because we were trying to think of how anyone could have guessed that, like, if we missed anything to where we could have, and I think it was Jeff that mentioned how we, like, her dressing, like, provocative and acting like she was older and stuff, but I feel like nowadays with TV and movies and all that stuff, it's not, I don't know, like, I see, like, in the class I have, this
totally.
one girl that looks grown,
Yeah.
and I'm just like, you don't belong here, like, let me see your ID, because you're definitely at least a senior in high school.
Yeah.
So I feel like a lot of girls are trying to act like they're older than they are. So I mean, like, yeah, that could have been something that could have shown us, but at the same time, I feel like that's how a lot of girls are nowadays.
Yeah, I don't think it was a strong signal that, like, she was dealing with sexual abuse, but I think it could explain it now that we know about it. You know what I'm kind of saying? Like, it's not like every girl that kind of dresses that way would be, oh, like, that person's been sexually abused. But now that we do know that it is, like, maybe that could have been some sort of sign. But I mean, at the end of the day, yeah, like you were saying, how like society is now, you know, that wouldn't have been enough. You know, you need more than just that. You would have to actually talk to her and see what's going on.
And I think Mr. Jones is also very, like, I don't know, I got the impression from him the first week that he was more annoyed with Gina than anything. So I doubt he would have ever talked to her, like, one-on-one. And I doubt he would have ever figured this out, just because he seems more annoying. He'd rather keep his distance than anything. But I don't know.
That's true, too. I think the way he was talking about her was kind of, you know, yeah, he was more irritated with her and didn't even want to, like, kind of deal with her personal issues. She was just kind of this annoying girl in the class. What about you, Chris?
Yeah, something like that. yeah, I was gonna say that her description of boys here and this week, it kind of like, to me, it kind of connects to her experience with her mom's boyfriend, because I feel like it's her way of trying to cope with interactions with males after having gone through what she went through. So I think in her mind, she's just trying to feel like she does have control over herself, especially in interactions with males. And this might also explain her quote unquote attitude that Mr. Jones described her as.
That would actually, yeah, make sense.
Yeah, totally.
I don't know. The only thing, last thing I have to say about Gina, the only thing that scares me is because we look like when we first read this, I was trying to like think back of what she said to where we could have caught on to that, and it's like there wasn't really anything to them when we are teachers. It's like if we have that same situation, I mean, what are we supposed to talk to every single girl that has an attitude and dresses provocatively?
Yeah,
See
totally. Yeah.
something like that going on at home. I mean,
Yeah.
it's that part makes me nervous.
Yeah.
You know what the kids are going through unless they come and open up to you. So
I think it's more about
Yeah.
trying to create like a safe environment that increases the chance that they do come and talk to you. Like I don't think Mr. Jones created a very, loving and empathetic environment for her to open up like that. Like because she probably doesn't like him as much as he doesn't like her. So it's kind of
yeah,
he would be the last person she would say anything to.
true.
Yeah.
And then Roxana. What do you guys say about Roxana?
I think that her life has been very stressful, to say the least, and it really explains how last week how it was described that she doesn't really focus on school and she's turning in homework, but the work's not correct. I think like she definitely has much bigger priorities, I would say, only because her family's really just trying to survive. It's not like she doesn't care about school. In fact, it says her parents really care about education.
Yeah. And it, to me, weird. Hi, Professor. It's okay, we're on
Hi,
here.
sorry. I wasn't going to bother your session. I'm doing something else for the class.
You're doing something else in class?
Yeah, I'm just fixing the PowerPoint inside the class. You guys keep doing what you're doing.
Okay.
Okay. So,
Okay,
and
thank you.
then I also think how she, I don't know, just because I have a lot of friends from the Middle East and I hear stories from them of back home and what they escaped from, I think that it should be like counselors are reaching out to her to see like if she experienced any of that, if she remembers any of it, if she's affected by it. And then also, she doesn't mention anything about being in an EL class either. And it seems like she's new to the country, so you would think that she would be getting the help. But it doesn't seem like, unless her and Martha didn't mention it, it doesn't seem like she's getting any help either.
Yeah. She probably needs some counseling too. It almost sounds like she
Yeah.
came from like a war zone. She saw her cousin get bombed, and then all her family was like drafted in the military. She mentioned she was being like persecuted and stuff. So yeah, I mean, just for traumatic stuff, she probably needs counseling.
Something interesting. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead, you're good.
I was gonna say something interesting is I'm going back and forth between the first and second case studies, and Mr. Jones' description of her. So he has talked to the mom, and the mom obviously didn't open up. But then, like, it's crazy how he finishes with about the spelling of her name and some families. And then here we are finding out so much more important stuff about her.
Yeah, when his main concern was the spelling of her name.
Yeah. Like,
I
Hey,
at all.
did somebody fix the screen here? Because now I see both of you guys at the same time. I was wondering.
He took off the PowerPoint, so I think
Oh, okay.
that could have.
Yeah. Sweet.
And then I think Steven is last. Yeah, he's last. So, I remember my first thought was whether his, like the way that he was speaking was so like short and to the point, if it was because of his, because he talks through the, I don't really know what the word is, the assisted technology or whatever the correct term is. Yeah, so I don't know, like my first thought was, oh, I wonder if he speaks like that and so simple because of that. But then you also mentioned that other, what was the other guy's name that you mentioned last week?
Stephen Hawking.
Oh, Stephen Hawking, yeah.
And how you guys are pretty sure that he was able to create full sentence, like not like in-depth super sentences, but at least having it sound a little bit better. And then also whether or not, because he speaks like this, if this is why Mr. Jones thinks, or it's so hard for him to believe that what's it called?
Yeah, like
Smart,
I think he can write. I think he can do as long as sentences as he wants on that machine. It's just a hassle, you know. So it takes him a while. So he doesn't really bother. He just, when he talks, he goes straight to the point. And now his writing kind of reflects that as well. So I think that's more what it is. When they were writing the case study, is that like a writing thing, or is that something they were just talking to someone and they recorded it?
Wait, what?
Like, did he like when he was during the case study, is that like them being interviewed and they just kind of recorded what he said, or is that him actually writing something on the computer?
Oh, this part that we're reading right now?
Yeah, the case study. Yeah, what we were reading.
I think it's like they actually did it and then they kind of put it in here just because it keeps saying I, and it doesn't have quotation marks or anything. That's why I kind of think it's them actually saying it and it's just copied and pasted into this.
Okay.
But I mean, I'm not 100%.
Oh.
So, Christian, anything you have to add about Steven?
Yeah, I feel like maybe the biggest thing is, like you guys said, about how he communicates. Maybe that's probably the biggest reason why Mr. Jones focuses on him too. But it's also interesting how he gets picked on by his classmates. And right now it seems like he has a crush on Gina because it especially hurts what she tells him. So what I wonder too is, like, how does he feel if he sees her interacting with, like, say, Dylan? So he's, like, also not only dealing with his differences right now as a person, but he's also going through, like, what males typically go through at his age, which is having a crush and then dealing with all that drama. So he has a lot going on.
And then also something I just noticed was when he mentioned that people pick on him, what was her name? Mandy, his caregiver, she stands up for him and tells the people to stop, but Mr. Jones doesn't do anything. So I'm curious if Mr. Jones is around when this happens, like if it happens in class, or if he's talking about times outside of the class. Because if they're in class and Mr. Jones doesn't do anything, that also explains a lot about Mr. Jones's character also.
Yeah, totally. I mean,
Yeah.
it's probably more when Mr. Jones isn't around. But yeah, I mean, it could be during class.
Mm-hmm. Hopefully not, though, because that would be. Wait. Alrighty. And anything else you guys have to say?
Can't really think of anything.
Christian?
No. I think we covered everything about the students.
Cool. And then Jeff, are you gonna upload it on YouTube and then send it to me again? And then I'll upload it?
Yeah, we'll go ahead and do that.
Okay, perfect.
It probably takes
Alrighty.
it takes about a half hour to
You said what?
upload. Takes
Okay.
about a half
Well,
hour
I'm
to
home the
upload
rest
YouTube.
of the night, so
Okay. So I'll
just give me
email
a
it to
text
you.
when it's done, and I'll get it turned in tonight.
Sweet. Sounds good.
Alrighty, guys. I'll talk to you later.
All right. Should we?
right,
What
thank
time do
you,
you
guys.
guys want to meet next week?
This week I'm off Tuesday, and I think school gets out at 2:35, so like 4, let's say 4 and on. I'm free, and then Saturday. Let me check my schedule on Saturday. I think Saturday morning I'm free.
I would actually rather do it Tuesday if you're available, Christian.
I get out of work at 7 p.m. So if like 7:15 works, then definitely.
Okay. I actually have to go later than that. I tutor someone from 7 to 8, I think. So I could probably do like 8:30, 8:45.
Okay, so this Tuesday 8:45 work for everyone?
Yeah.
Sounds good to me. Yeah, that way if we have any troubles or anything, we have time, to fix it and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm putting a reminder in my phone right now, and then earlier that day I'll check up with you guys and make sure you guys are still available.
Cool.
Alrighty?
Sounds good.
All right.
Cool. Then I'll see you guys on Tuesday.